All right, guys. It's been a little while. Times are tough. I'm just letting you know right now. This video is for you. Okay? It's for you. I have no air conditioning in my car. I can't drive with the window down and make a video because it's too loud. And in other words, this is a labor of love. This is a labor of love right now for you guys. No, yeah, I really appreciate your viewership for sure. All you guys, everybody who watches, anyone who watches, I appreciate it. So thank you. I just had a thought, and I'm gonna try to share it quickly before I die of a heat stroke in here. So it's actually a beautiful thought. So you know what? In the spirit of beautiful thoughts, I'm gonna make a beautiful decision and pull off the road at this nice little park, which is actually. This is actually a very special park up here. This is where our church used to do Bible studies. Yeah, and then it eventually became Gospel Principles class. What? And oh my gosh, I just realized we totally missed an opportunity, because last year when we were doing Bible study, we met at the park. We started meeting at the church because it would start to get too cold and the days were getting shorter, right? Because it was becoming fall. And so in other words, we had to move to the church building because of the cold and because of the light. Well, this whole summer, we've totally missed the entire opportunity of having it here in the summer again. Like, we could have totally just been here this whole time, but we just haven't been. And now the summer is pretty much over. But actually, it's not too late. That's actually a great idea. Let's do that. We're going to do that for sure. Let's go. Okay, so I parked here so I can put my window down, get some cool air, hopefully. Okay, I'm gonna try to explain this idea because it's a pretty complicated one. It's kind of hard to put into words. I think it can be summed up by the concept of lost joy. And I'm not gonna be. I have Sage. I don't know if you guys have ever used Sage before. Like, a lot of people in the woo-woo community use Sage. The people who are like, we gotta cleanse the bad spirits. They use Sage. I like Sage. I like burning Sage because it's just I don't know, kind of makes me feel better sometimes. And it might help some of the bad spirits to go away somehow. I don't know. Anyway, I like the way it feels and the way it smells. So that's what's going on. I'm not smoking. I'm not weird. I'm just this is just what I do. So it's fine. But anyway, joy lost, energy lost. Actually, it's what's the word? It's oh man, there's this. I'm getting a plethora of inspiration right now. It's not even funny. I can't even comprehend it all. There's no way I'm gonna put all this in words. No way. It's been a long time since I made videos. It's only been 4 or 5 days, but still it feels like 4 weeks since I was making them every day, multiples a day, for a while. Been going through some stuff lately. Stuff with my lady friend, my girlfriend. Really hard to deal with. But anyway, there's a really cool song. If you never heard of Anthony Green, you should look up Anthony Green. Be careful what songs you listen to because some of them have bad language in them. But Anthony Green is he's a really amazing modern day artist. He's a singer, and he's also in a band called Circa Survive, which is his rock band, which Circa Survive is an amazing band if you've never heard of them. But he made a song with Circa Survive. He's one of my favorite artists, hands down, bar none, for sure. Beyond, just one of my... Anthony Green is very, very special to me. His music is very special to me, and I think it probably will always be special to me. Anyway, he has a song, a very beautiful song, a very sad song, but it's very beautiful, called Nesting Dolls on Circa Survive's record, Decensus. And in the song Nesting Dolls, it's a kind of a sad song, and it kind of sings I don't want to feel like this ever, 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 ever again. And then it just keeps cascading again and again and again, and it's beautiful. And then there's this one part in the verse when he says, when we were young and everything's magical, then it all disappears. I was so sure, and you were persistent, and just keeps going. But basically the whole concept of when we were young and everything was so magical, there's everybody's lives and childhoods are different, but there's a certain vibe that exists that I've experienced when I was a kid. I remember, and shout out to my friend Eric Loves Christ on YouTube, because dude, you're an awesome guy, man, and I just wanted to take time to thank you for your ability and your depth to be willing to you hold it down for a lot of us in a lot of different ways. And one of the ways you hold it down is you hold it down for the inner child in all of us, really, because there's a certain innocence. But there's an innocence when we were younger, right? There was a time in our lives where things were just magical, things were just joyful, everything was fun. And if it wasn't fun and we didn't quite understand it, it was a mystery, and it was just a mystery, and it was just like, things were so different when we were little, right? And my childhood I had some really hard things happen in my childhood. I don't think I've really gotten into it in much detail in my channel. You may not know, but my parents divorced when I was really little, like 2, and my mom remarried several times, and I've had a lot of different stepdads, and just a lot of moving and a lot of crazy things to deal with along the way. And it was hard, and these kinds of things put a damper on things. So there was this joy, but then there's this sadness weighing on the joy, and that has been present in my life for a long time, and it still is to some extent. But what I'm getting at, and the heart of what I'm getting at, the point of this video, is to tell you that I have figured out the cure to that, and I figured out where to go so that that doesn't happen anymore, and so that I know a place you can go where that joy is protected. And love it or hate it, it's the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Because I have joined this church 3 years ago, and I have some really, really good friends and family. People I just can't even put into words how much I love these people and how much I value them and treasure them. And it blows my mind. I can't even comprehend it. But there's something really special that exists. And just because you've been through some really hard times doesn't mean that specialness doesn't exist anymore, because it does. And it's protected, and it's safe, and it can exist, right? There's no need to step on it or shut it down. So I've been in some rough places in my life, and those rough times and places have put a damper on my good feelings, my good memories, my good thoughts, my good feelings. And that's a big deal, especially when you're little, especially when it happens when you're little. But I've just discovered something just so precious and pure and innocent. There's a really nice guy that goes to my church, and he's a young man. He's in his 20s. He just got back from serving a mission not too long ago. He went on a 2-year-long mission, for you guys who aren't familiar, across the world to serve as a missionary for our church, for the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. And he came home, and like when I joined the church, he wasn't there. I never knew him, but I saw pictures about him, like, Tim, he's in California, and it's so cool. And it's like, we miss you, Tim, we miss you, we're holding it down in Kent Island for you. And one day he comes back. So I spend time getting to know people in church slowly, and I meet his family, and I get to know his family, his brothers and sisters to a certain point, and he's still gone. And then one day he comes back, and I'm like, the missing piece to the puzzle. And now his younger brother's on a mission, the one I saw and watched grow and everything. And anyway, me and this guy Tim were talking about things at one point, and we talked about astronauts and space, and he had an interest in it, and I was like, oh, that's so cool. I've always been fascinated with space, aliens, astronauts, UFOs, spaceships, Star Wars, everything, the whole 9 yards. But I grew up, you know, I had a lot of challenges when I grew up. So a lot of those challenges made the sweet things that you hold on to just never sweet enough, because there's always too much other stuff to deal with. There's always so much other pain to deal with. And I remember getting a rocket ship. I remember getting space shuttle launching pad, space shuttle Lego kit for my birthday. And that kit was like $50. That was the most expensive Lego I'd ever gotten. And I was just like, oh man, this is so awesome. I was just like, this is so awesome. This is so awesome. And you know, over time, when you go through rough times, you kind of forget those things. You kind of forget those feelings. And it might feel like you might not ever feel them again or get them again. But you will. You will. You will one day. Whichever day that is, you will. And so I just remember talking to Tim about it, and about not UFOs and aliens, but space. And he was interested in talking. And some time passed, and I got this book called Mormon Astronaut. It's called Don Lind, Mormon Astronaut. And he is an actual astronaut who is a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. And if you're an astronaut, you have to be a really smart man. And I'll tell you a secret. If you're a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, there's a certain intelligence about you. And you might not recognize it, and a lot of other people might not recognize it or know it, but it's there. I know it. I recognize it. I know it. And I see it. And I ain't crazy. I know what I'm looking at. I know what something is when I look at it. You know? I have the ability to do that. I can figure that out, you know? And so, if you're a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, I just want you to know that you are, you are so loved, but you are special. And so I got that Mormon Astronaut book, and I've been reading it a little bit, and it gave me a bit of hope and comfort, because my dad and the rest of my family aren't members. And if you're a member, you know what it's like. If you don't, it's kind of hard to understand. But you have so much joy as a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. So much joy. And you just want to share it with others. You just want everyone else to feel these wonderful, amazing things that you feel. And I've been wanting to try to share the truth, my church, the Book of Mormon, the story of Joseph Smith, the restoration, everything, the restored gospel, everything, with my dad. And it's the hardest thing, because you can't force it, and you can't be weird. You can't just, And so it's been hard and interesting. And astronauts in space, UFOs and aliens have been something that me and my dad have bonded with ever since I was little. That's always been a very special thing that me and him have shared, he and I. And so when I had that astronaut book, and then Tim came back, I was like, all right, because he went away to college. And he came back, and I'm like, all right, he's here for a little bit. I'm like, yeah. I was like, dude, you still like astronauts in space, right? He's like, yeah. I was like, dude, I have this book for you. And I let him borrow my book. And I don't know, it's hard to explain, but there's just something really special going on. It's very spacey? No, space related? Maybe, I don't know. Oh man, some deep thoughts right now. But it's a special thing right now. And I just messaged him and just asked him, hey, have you ever gotten a chance to read that astronaut book? And like when I said that astronaut book, I didn't say it with this daunting feeling of like, oh, well, it's an astronaut book, or like, And this is the part that's hard to put into words. When you go through rough things for a while or long enough, the negativity can wear on you, the weight of things can wear on you, and it can convince you that that's the truth. But that's not the truth, because that's not the only truth. That's not all there is. Negativity, heaviness, loss, tragedy, sadness, no matter what, that's not all there is. You can't even argue with that. There's more than that. in life. There's more than that in life. And if you're experiencing those things, it's very unimaginable. But I felt it was a very special thing when I sent him that message. I felt special. And I felt that it was special. And I could hear it in the way I said astronaut. I could hear it in the tone of my voice. And the care in my voice, or the care in my mind, I guess, or just the way I felt. And it wasn't like the old days where it's like, this is a really wonderful thing, but we still have to put sad tones on it, It wasn't like that. It was like, this is awesome. We both agree this is awesome. We know this is awesome. This is a cool thing. And I can't wait to talk about it sometime. So, hey, have you gotten a chance to read that book yet? Just curious, no pressure. I'm just curious, like if you have or not, that's all. And anyway, this really brought up a really special thing for me and a really healing moment. And there's a really great LDS hymn. I'm going to go, but it's called Families Can Be Together Forever. And I dare you to listen to that song. If you haven't listened to it, listen to it. If you have listened to it, listen to it again. Because it's true. And it's life-changing, and there's so much more than we can't even comprehend. It's amazing and wonderful. And we're so lucky to be alive. We're so lucky. We don't even know how lucky we actually are. We don't even have a clue. We can't even comprehend. It's amazing. It is so amazing. Also, shout out to Fast and Testimony Day. I don't usually fast because I love food, and because I have a hard time fasting, because I'm so used to eating, and I just don't do a good job of it typically. But I haven't had breakfast today. I did eat a little bit of something when I got home for lunch, but still, I have benefited from the spirituality boost that comes with fasting. So if you fast, you're going to get a spiritual boost, because that's what happens. It's the way it works, whether you like it or not, whether you know it or not. That's what happens. So, anyway, I just wanted to thank you guys for watching this video. Hope you got something out of it. I hope it struck your soul. I hope it tickled your soul right in the feels. I hope it tickled you right where you're supposed to be tickled, right where you need a laugh or something like that. And I say all this in the name of Jesus Christ. And I love you guys so much.